meu recado hoje fundamental.
My fundamental message today was that after a very difficult period, in the last 2 years, the last 8 quarters, the Brazilian economy has already been growing. The Brazilian GDP grew every quarter, not by much, but it still grew. And it has all the elements necessary to take off in the next few years, for various reasons. One is related to a political change and a change in economic policy. The second is that 2 of the major macroeconomic problems in Brazil have already been solved. These are the problems that caused the recession and high inflation, which no longer exists today since our inflation is under control, and a problem of external accounts where it was becoming too expensive to produce in Brazil and many companies were closing, forcing us to import more and more. This problem also no longer exists. In the last 3 years, Brazil has had the biggest trade surplus in its history, so this problem is solved. What is left is for Brazil to get its public accounts in order, which I believe will happen with the approval of the Social Security reform. With this, the capacity of Brazil as a country and of its individual citizens to make investments abroad tends to become much greater. We should also remember that last year, despite the electoral uncertainties, problems with corruption scandals, an economy experiencing slow growth, the trucker strike, all of these things, Brazil was still the number 3 country for direct foreign investment from foreign companies, with only the United States and China receiving more than Brazil. My point is, if we can resolve the problems that still linger, and I believe this will happen, we should receive much more investment. Consequently, this will generate a lot of jobs, a lot of revenue, and we will grow much more than people imagine in the next few years, provided there is no serious global crisis, which may very well happen. In this scenario, Brazil becomes more attractive to investors around the world, including Arab countries, and the Brazilian consumer market also becomes bigger and more important, and more attractive to companies that want to export to Brazil, including companies from Arab countries. At the same time, looking from the Brazilian perspective, the region, the 22 countries represented by the Arab Brazilian Chamber, have not only been growing for some time, many have achieved a very elevated level of economic wealth, which generates other opportunities for business and interchange. This is also a very significant food consumption market, and Brazil has a huge advantage in the production of foods in the world because it has the available land, water, and favorable climate. The result is a confluence of a series of interests between the 2 groups, Brazil and the group of Arab countries, and that is where I see opportunity for both sides.
That's pros dois lados.